Hi dear traders, I'm Maria Staradop and this is the review of crypto analytics from FxCo. It's the 19th of December today, Monday. And now today's review, we will start with the discussion on the point of crypto industry regulation. What steps have already been made in this field by US Congress, and what are the points of view on the point, different points of view. And then we will shortly observe the fundamental background and technical picture of Bitcoin, and of course we will have a look at the chart for the moment. Let's start. We will start with an article by Igor Danilov and the discussion on the point of crypto regulation. Thus, on Wednesday, US senators pressed Congress to regulate the cryptocurrency under existing financial rules as lawmakers scrambled to rein in the troubled industry amid the scandal surrounding the FTX exchange. Generally, most people agree that cryptocurrencies should have greater regulation, but there are different points of view on the point how the industry should be regulated. Thus, critics say that the crypto world is riddled with fraud and misconduct, but proponents say that the industry simply suffers from a lack of regulation, and those seem to be two sides of the same coin. Thus, US Senator Elizabeth Warren this week declared that it's time for Congress to make the crypto industry follow the same money laundering rules as everyone else. Earlier, she and the Republican Senator Roger Marshall announced legislation aimed at closing money laundering loopholes in the crypto industry, and they want to hand control of crypto oversight to the Securities and Exchange Commission. But there is also criticism on the authorities' action. For example, Republican Senator Pat Toomey, the ranking member of the Banking Committee, said he did not think the money laundering rules were well suited to cryptocurrency, describing the existing anti-money laundering technologies as archaic. Obviously, new methods, primarily technological ones, are needed for effective control. Here Igor expresses his own opinion on the point, and he says that, however, the process is already underway. He's quite skeptic on the point because he says, let's be frank, there has been talk of crypto regulation for a long time. In particular, Congress heard such reports a year ago, but since then, however, there has been no explicit attempt to regulate the controversial market. We should all realize that this industry now weighs between $4 and $6 trillion, and too harsh and sudden regulation will not stop mass bankruptcies but will only accelerate them. Against the backdrop of the recession, this will look like an attempt of the government to shift the pressure of the recession onto a segment of the market where the rights of crypto holders are very little protected, and this could trigger a wave of backlash up to including cyber attacks on the personal data of congressmen. In other words, he says it's time for the crypto industry to pay the bill for the feverish greed with which it absorbed borrowed money 2 years ago, and yes, it's going to be a hard landing. Nevertheless, regulation is badly needed and will help the industry find its place in the settlement and turnover of goods and services. But we all have to go through this painful lesson, Igor says. Okay. And now let's move on to another article by Paolo Greco, and we will shortly discuss the fundamental background and technical picture. Here, Paolo doesn't write anything new. He, let's say, summarizes everything what's happened now in the around the crypto market. And so, this week, 3 central banks increased again key interest rates. Despite slowing down the pace of monetary policy tightening, all 3 central banks are still raising rates and So the fundamental backdrop for the cryptocurrency market is negative, and as a result, we should anticipate further Bitcoin drops. Moreover, it should be kept in mind that the longer Bitcoin stays at the bottom, the greater the likelihood of new collapses, as many participants in the crypto industry are starting to run into liquidity issues due to the low price of Bitcoin. And miners are the first to experience the reduction at this time because it costs even less than the cost price. Exchanges involving money are also having issues. No investments are currently available because nobody wants an asset without prospects. From Paul's point of view, we must watch for the time when central bank rates peak and stop rising. At least then the price of Bitcoin can stop decreasing. However, everything will now depend on whether or not there are new cryptocurrency industry crashes. The segment's confidence in cryptocurrencies will be further eroded if they do. As for the technical picture, the Bitcoin quotes over the past 24 hours, the article was written yesterday, have remained below 18,500. The fall could continue with 12,426 go, in Paul's opinion. And as he previously stated already, since the price was concurrently in a side channel, crossing the downward trend line does not signify the end of the bearish trend. Bitcoin is now located below this channel, allowing the quotes to move southward. Okay, and now let's have a look at the chart for the moment. Today is 19th of December. And what do we see at the chart? During the weekend, for example, during yesterday, the quotes did move. There was some volatility on the market. It opened the day today at the point 16,758, and now at the moment of the publication it is trading at 16,725. A new week has just begun. Everything is ahead. Don't miss our news reports. We will be glad to see your comments and questions down below. I wish you profitable trading and fantastic day, and see you tomorrow.